Good morning, Trinity Church. It's good to be with you, in spirit at least. Looking forward to the day when we can all be together in a place and worship together. I thank you for the opportunity to bear witness to nature as an agent of inspiration and of healing, of solace. I'm sitting here in my backyard, the Panacussing Creek, which dumps into the Delaware River about 8/10 of a mile away. It's a place that I come to often for rest and just to be still and to hear all the sounds and watch the movement of the trees, pay attention to the overhead sky, which reaches from the top as far as I can see down to my feet, and to just to acknowledge that God's creation is good. Sometimes that's all we need, is just to acknowledge that He is good. And so this is the place that I come to. Sorry about my mask. It's a new one and it just keeps on slipping, so forgive me. So what I thought I would do today, as part of our own little horticultural therapy and finding inspiration from nature, is to read a poem. It's a spiritual poem, not a religious poem, but one that I think maybe will cause you, wherever you are, and I hope that there is some place in your life in this beautiful part of the world where you may be able to sit still and just for 5 minutes breathe in the goodness, the sounds, the smells, the movement of nature around us. So I hope that that's where you'll go. I hope that you'll find that place and be restored. That's what we're given, this gift. So this is a poem by David White. Sometimes if you move carefully through the forest, breathing like the ones in the old stories, who would cross a shimmering bed of leaves without a sound, you come to a place whose only task is to touch you with tiny but frightening requests. Conceived out of nowhere, but in this place beginning to lead everywhere. Requests to stop what you are doing right now and to stop what you are becoming while you do it. Questions that make or unmake a life. Questions that have patiently waited for you. Questions that have no right to go away. So I hope that poem just will delight you and give you some calm. I think that, as I said, you can find places like this almost anywhere. I know that when I was in New York City, sometimes I would just sit and look at a window box. And I would look at a window box and think about the seed that formed the plant that I was looking at. Usually it was an herb of some kind. And be transformed just by the creative power and knowing that I was given the opportunity to take care of it, to be a co-creator, if you will. So I pray that that as we continue to go through this sea of unknowns, where there may be confusion and fear, that we would be reminded of who we are. That we are not what the news and what the world is teaching us we are, but we are really who we are because God calls us by our name, and our identity is first and foremost in Him. So I hope that we would re-identify ourselves during this time and find joy in that. So I'm wishing you each and all peace. And as I said, I look forward so much to being with you together in worship. So God bless you all. I'd like just to showcase this wonderful plant, Vernonia. It's also known as New York Ironweed. I don't know how it got its name, because there's nothing really iron about it, but it is this great late blooming August, September, October plant, which is perfect for meadows. It likes the soil a little bit wet, and it can tolerate part sun, although it likes it in full sun. And it grows to, well, it grows anywhere from 3 feet to 7 feet. It's pretty sturdy. A strong windstorm or rainstorm might cause it to bend, but otherwise they hold up pretty well through wind and so forth. But I really, really like this plant. It plays well with others, and it's a great great plant for pollinators as well. So if you like butterflies and hummingbirds, this plant will attract them. So don't miss out on putting just some New York ironweed in your garden. You'll be glad you did. So I'm standing here over this globe sphere, which is holding this twining plant that I have growing. It's a passion flower, and so it is a zone 8 plant, which means I keep it in its pot, and then in the wintertime I just cut it back and bring it inside, store it in a cool place, water it about once a month, but then it comes back every year. The nice thing about this plant, you can see that it's starting to set flowers along the vine here. This is what it looks like. It's not quite opened up, but it's actually makes a great display. It's very, very textured. I also like the seed pods. So these almost look like little oranges, but these are the seed pods, and I'm happy to share when they actually produce the seed in around November. You can break those out and you'll have all the plants you want for the next year. But if you're looking something really unusual, try a passion flower. The two common colors usually comes in purple, but I actually like the white one because in the moonlight it actually illuminates this whole part of the garden. So have fun. So this is a plant that Jane and Ian McNeil gave to me about 15 years ago. It's called Brugmancia, and it is a beautiful subtropical plant, which means that every year I cut it way back and I bring it inside and store it in my attic for the winter, and then bring it out, root prune it, and then bury it in the ground. But this is the flower, what's left of the flower. It's very beautiful, extremely fragrant, but toxic. So just a reminder that not all beautiful things are safe. But as long as you don't have animals around to eat the leaves or the flowers of this tree, it's incredibly beautiful. And every time I come out here, I think of our beloved McNeils and how much they continue to inspire me and feed my soul. And it's a gift that I think about them. So thank you, Jane and Ian. Love you. Bye.